So in 2021, I have done my fair share of testing across my portfolio websites and my affiliate marketing business. And today's video, I'm going to tell you 9 things that I don't think really went to plan in my business. So let's get into this. It's the beginning of December and I'm going to start slowing down my work schedule through December. It is the first Christmas that I'm going to have for a very long time where I get to actually spend a lot more time with my family here at home. So I thought I'd get this video in for you because there are a few things that I did in 2021 across my affiliate marketing business and my blogging portfolio that didn't work. And I will throw in a few tips that did work. So let's get into this. There's 9 things that I'm going to share with you today that I wish I hadn't done or didn't work on my website. So here we go. So at number 1, Google Web Stories. Now you may see from my playlist that I did a few videos about Google Web Stories and how good they were and how successful you can be with them. Now that video wasn't a lie. There are many people that had great success in 2020 and 2021 with Google Web Stories. And I did showcase a story where a lady was getting hundreds of thousands of visits from the Discovery channel on Google due to her web stories. So I did implement them and I did test them. Now I did test them quite thoroughly. I implemented around 100 web stories on 2 different websites, so 100 on each one, to see the effects of these. And to be honest, it was a bit of a failure. Now I did spend a reasonable amount of money testing these, so it wasn't just a quick experiment. I did extensively test them and I found that the odd 1 or 2 web stories took off and I was getting a few views per day, but certainly wasn't getting the thousands and thousands of views that was predicted. So if you watched those videos and you implemented them, I would be really interested to find out how you went. Did I just implement them wrong? Was I just unlucky? Or did Google change something? There was many stories and articles out about Google not promoting web stories anymore, and in fact actually cancelling the whole project altogether. But I still do get some traffic from them, but it is very minimal. So Google Web Stories is one thing that certainly did not work on my blog in 2021. And at number 2, Pinterest. Now I've been a big advocate for Pinterest, and for the last 3 years Pinterest has worked really well for me. I built up a really big Pinterest campaign for my Hutch and Cage website and got it to a peak where it was bringing in around 6,000 or 7,000 visitors per month, and it was a really good and effective way to get organic traffic from Pinterest over to your website, and for very little cost. You basically just needed to create a few pins, add them to your storyboards and put a link in there straight over to your website. Now that traffic has been in decline and Pinterest has suffered as a company in 2021. They changed their whole policy and ethos across their platform and they decided they wanted to start placing display ads within Pinterest, which wasn't on there before, and they decided to try and keep as many people on the Pinterest website as they could, obviously to see and watch more ads to create and generate more revenue. That makes sense for them. However, it's kind of backfired on them because a huge proportion of people that use Pinterest was there to generate traffic for their business. They wanted people to see their pins and click over through to their website. And Pinterest says, wait a minute, no, we're not having that. You're not leaving the website. And Pinterest changed its algorithm to try and keep people on Pinterest much longer, which means that bloggers saw less and less traffic and therefore invested less and less time into there. So Pinterest as a company suffered really financially. The money that they gained from the extra ad revenue, which is probably millions and millions of dollars, actually really hit their business hard because they've lost about 30% of their client base is now no longer using Pinterest. So a lot of their die-hard Pinterest fans have left the platform. Now, will this continue? I'm not sure. I'm sure Pinterest is going to have a look. Their shares within the marketplace have dropped and plummeted. The company has lost a huge value across their business, and I'm sure they're going to have to reevaluate in 2022. For me, it still brings me traffic, so the Pinterest campaign that I built previously still does very well. I get about 3,000 organic visitors a month from that Pinterest campaign. I've not spent a penny on it in about a year, and I still get 3,000 visitors per month, every month without fail. And that equates to a few $100s for me every month, so that is really good. But what I wouldn't do at the moment is start a new Pinterest campaign. I am not implementing Pinterest campaigns on any of my websites at all. It is just too much work for too little reward right at this very moment. Like I say, it may change in 2022, but I think in 2021, Pinterest campaigns was definitely a waste of time for me. And mistake number 3, a second YouTube channel. So I love my YouTube channel and I love talking about affiliate marketing and blogging. Now with my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, I've really narrowed my audience down to blogging and niche website building. Now I did want to expand on that and try experimenting with different content, maybe e-commerce websites, maybe affiliate marketing through paid advertising, whatever that may be. Now that kind of videos don't sit well on my main channel because my audience are not here to see that kind of information. So I thought I'd create a second channel all around shorts and giving some quick online affiliate marketing tips. But to be honest, it was a bit of a failure because of one thing, and that's time. It takes so much time. Even short videos do take time to set up the camera, decide what you're going to talk about, implement the video, edit it, upload it. It still takes time. And what I found is it took time away from my main channel. So where my main audience is, I was diluting the content on here to try and grow and feed that other channel. And I just don't simply have the time. So that second channel is there. I am going to leave it up. I may work on it further next year, but for now I'm going to park that idea and leave it because it didn't really work in 2021. And number 4, social media for websites. Now, social media for websites is totally different from my brand. So carlbroadbent.com as an affiliate marketing brand works really well with social media, and it's probably the primary source of all my income. So when I see a good product and I share it with you guys and I put a link there, that's how I make my money. That's what affiliate marketing is in a nutshell. So everybody who complains when I send an affiliate link out in an email, you know why I do it. It is my primary business. carlbroadbent.com is an affiliate marketing business. However, social media has not worked for my websites. So creating a pet website and creating a Facebook group and an Instagram page and a Twitter page to promote a pet article really isn't working these days. It takes so much time and effort for very, very little reward. There are not many people who go on Twitter searching for what food do rabbits eat. They just don't want that kind of information. If they want that information, they'll go to Google and they'll search for it. They're not on Twitter and Instagram to see that kind of content. So I did waste a lot of time trying to build up social media profiles for these businesses for very, very little return. Now, building social media presences can be good for SEO. So it can be good for building your authority. So Google can see, okay, this pet website is all over social media. That is fine. Setting up the accounts and putting the odd post here and there is fine. However, spending every day on there posting, here's the latest article about carrots and how rabbits love them, just doesn't work. It is a waste of time. By the time you've posted that article across all your social media, you could have written a 2,000 word article that will bring you in traffic for many, many years to come. So social media for niche websites didn't work for me personally in 2021. And in at number 5, my giveaway website. So you may or may not know I've been building a website called helpfulmonk.com, and it's a website that I plan to give away at the beginning of 2021. So January the 2nd or the 3rd, we'll do the draw and we'll give the website away. Now, I'm going to class this as a failure in 2021. I really thought that I could build a big video series all around building this website up, and then I would give a really successful website away and some lucky viewer would win a up and running business. Now, that is still going to happen, but the website isn't what I wanted it to be, and let me explain why. So I put a poll out there for you guys to say what niche do you want me to write about, what niche do you want me to build, and you chose hacks, so lifestyle hacks and tips in the kitchen, tips in the home. Now that was fine, and I'm not saying that niche can't work, but the issue I've had is I find it really dull to write content like that. Now that might be my downfall, it's, might be the niche's fault, I don't know what it is, but I really don't have the passion for writing content like that. Now this is an issue you may face in your own business. If you're setting up a website just because you think it is going to be profitable or successful and you are not interested in that niche whatsoever, you may struggle. Even with a team of writers that I have that I can put on that site, I still don't find the passion to build that content up because it's just not a niche I'm interested in. So I am going to continue to put some more articles on there before I give the site away, and I do think it is a great platform for somebody to own, to build out. You may have the passion for hacks and lifestyle trends. I personally don't, and I wish I'd chosen a better niche. I wish I probably hadn't given the option to the public. I wish I'd have said, okay, I think this is the niche I can make the most success out of, and I wish I'd have gone with that. But I listened to you guys, and thank you for all your feedback, and it was a fun idea, but personally, I don't think I've done it justice. But the website is there, it's now aged, it gets traffic, we can now monetize it, and it is a lovely looking website. So somebody is going to win a valuable website. It's certainly worth a couple of $1,000s, I would have thought right now, but I think it can be much bigger. If you have the passion for that type of content, I think you're going to do really well with it. And then number 6, YouTube niche. Now what I mean by that is my main channel, I have definitely narrowed myself into a bit of a pocket. So all my content needs to be really free content. All my content needs to be informational, helpful content to grow a website. And I can't really talk about anything else. I've tried putting a few videos out there on topics that I may be interested in, whether that might be, like I say, a different direction in affiliate marketing, whatever that may be. I seem to have narrowed myself down into a niche, not only with my audience, but with the YouTube algorithm as well. As soon as I bring any video out that is not related to keyword research or WordPress themes or anything like that, the algorithm doesn't show me any love, and the audience are not interested in that because you guys are here for a specific reason. So I think I've narrowed myself into this really tight little pocket, and I've seen a few YouTubers at the moment trying to break out of their niche. So they've done the same thing, and there is one particular YouTuber at the moment who has around 200,000 subscribers who has suddenly done a full 360 on his channel trying to break the YouTube algorithm because he too is stuck in this pocket of related searches and keywords that his YouTube channel is known for, and he wants to talk about other things, but it's just not working. So I do think that is really restricting my channel. How it will affect my growth in the future, I'm not too sure, but something I need to look into for 2022. And number 7, lost focus. So over the past year, I've been doing as much as I can to help you guys with your websites. I've produced newsletters, I've done free spreadsheets that you can use, I've done YouTube videos, I've done blog posts, I've done everything I can to try and grow your business and help you get into the business that I love and I'm very passionate about. But what it's done is it's lost my focus on my own business. So I have a few comments saying things like, oh, you don't have any really big successful websites, Carl. You're right, because I spend so much time doing the free content and the newsletters that I just haven't focused on my own portfolio. So you may have noticed that has changed in the last couple of months. I've been working on Gardenia Organic like crazy. I am trying to build one really big authoritative site so I can actually produce a portfolio that, number one, I'm proud of and I can show to you guys, but also what's financially rewarding. At the end of the day, it is a business. I do need to make my income from it. I don't have another job. I am a full-time blogger and I need to have a successful portfolio. So I'm trying to get that focus back going forward into next year. And number 8, working from home. Now, you may think this is a really weird topic to put into my failures for 2021, but working at home for me personally, I don't think has been beneficial. Now, obviously, I love being an affiliate marketer and a blogger, and working at home has been a great way for me to grow my business, but I don't think it has really helped me grow emotionally and kind of mentally. I think I've been stuck in a mindset of getting up a little bit later each day, breaking off from work to do other things around the house, and also things like on an evening where normally when I've done a full 9 to 5 job, I would come home, I would spend time with the family, I would sit and watch TV and spend the evening with my family. And what happens when you work from home is, for instance, last night my wife was watching a program. I'm not really into it, so I said, oh, I'll leave you to it, I'll go work. And I went and worked for a couple of hours. Now, I wouldn't have done that before. I'd have sat with her and watched that program. And even if I didn't like the program, it's nice to have that time with my wife. But I find myself just creeping off into the other room to go do a bit of work every, couple of hours. And you shouldn't do that. And I've really tried to be strong and focused on a set routine with my business, but working from home has been very difficult to do that. And if you're aspiring to work from home and do affiliate marketing or blogging full time, you may love working from home and you may be better at that than me. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing working from home, but for me, I do feel that there is a benefit to getting up, getting showered, having some breakfast and leaving the house and going somewhere to work. And then that feeling of coming home, walking through the door, and you've done a hard day's work, you're pleased with yourself, and then you relax and spend time with your family. I think there is a real plus to that. So what does it mean for me next year? Well, it probably means that I'm going to look for somewhere to work. I'm going to try and break out the house and actually find an office where I can rent a room or find somewhere that I can create a YouTube studio. It's been very difficult to do videos at home. Most of you know I'm here in my dining room and it's very difficult to actually film videos from here. So I'm going to look for some facilities or an office or a shared accommodation where I can actually take my business out of the house next year. Now, it has to be financially viable. I'm not going to rent an office that costs a fortune if it doesn't bring me any return on my investment. So if I'm going to rent an office, I have to be more productive. I either need to produce more videos, or it's easier to do YouTube, or it's a calmer, more productive place to work. So that's something that I'm going to look forward to next year. So working from home may seem a plus to most people, but for me, I think it's been a little bit of a detriment. And finally, number 9, my mega website. So many of you know this case story. I invested around $20,000 into nearly 400 articles on a very, very broad niche. And so far, that definitely has been a big failure. I probably could have done with that $20,000 still in the bank, if I'm being honest. But I did try it and I've not wrote the project off yet. In fact, it is creeping up. This last algorithm update from Google has helped a little bit. So it is growing, but for nearly 400 articles, I would expect that to be 1,000 visitors a day. But I do hope that one day that will just spring to life. But for now, that project is parked, and certainly it's something I probably wish I hadn't done last year. But if you don't try, you don't know. So that's the 9 things that haven't worked for me in affiliate marketing and blogging in 2021. But what are some of the things that did work? Let's quickly do 5 things that really worked for me. So number 1, secondary snippets. So I've been trying to change my approach to subheadings within my articles, trying to win them secondary snippets. Now, many of you will probably know about winning the primary snippet right at the top of your article, but I've been trying to win as many snippets as I can throughout the article. So that involves creating subheadings which are actual questions, and again answering that subheading as quickly and as informative as possible, bolding the answer out and see if we can pick up more than just the primary snippet. And I've done that several times throughout the article. And in some instances, I'm winning 4 or 5 different snippets rather than the one primary snippet that I went for before. So secondary snippets have really worked for me. And number 2, shorter content. So I've really cut back the length of my articles where possible. So if there is an article that you can write for 800 words, which answers the question in full, cut out all that fluff and it actually gives the searcher the actual intent, then do it. Write shorter, more effective, efficient pieces of content. It costs less to produce. It works really good for the algorithm because the reader finds and gets the information they want. They actually read the entire article rather than skim through it, so they tend to stay on page longer. So you may think a 3,000 word would keep them on page longer, but in reality, do they read all that content? Or is it better to have an 800 article word that they read every single word? I think it's better to give them the shorter pieces of content that are more engaging, they're more informative, and it actually matches the search intent. So shorter content has really worked well for me this year. And number 3, I built a successful team. So I've been building a team of writers and particularly a team of editors and VAs. So people who can help me with the formatting, adding links, adding images, adding videos, doing all the stuff that makes it look pretty, particularly on mobile. Now it's easy to outsource content, it's easy to hire a writer and get them writing content for you, but it's difficult to get those articles looking just how you want them. Perfectly formatted, broken up paragraphs so you can get more ad placements and it reads better, adding internal and external links, and doing all those nice things that just really make the article look pretty and easy for the user to read. And hiring VAs and editors has been an absolute godsend to me. My whole team is a fantastic group of writers, VAs and editors, but those 3 different categories, writers, editors and VAs, have really been important for me this year, and I am super grateful to all of them, and it is something that I am looking to build on even further next year, really strengthening that team so we can literally just pick a topic, move the entire team onto that new topic and that new website, and they build it out pretty much automatically, and that is a really powerful thing to have. And number 4, I've simplified things. So I've gone away from things that will try and trick Google and do all these crazy little projects like the web stories and focusing on social media, just trying to trick organic traffic to your website. I've simplified it. I've done basic keyword research, good quality content, match the user search intent, and create a better user experience on my website. And that's what I've done. I simplified it. I've stopped thinking about how to trick the world and trick Google and make money fast and just give the user what they want. Simplified content, simplified process, and it's working really well. And finally, broadened the niche. Now, unlike my mega website, which is ultra broad, I have tried to broaden some of my smaller niches. So like my pet website, Hutch and Cage, where all the articles will focus on pets that live in a hutch and a cage. I've now broadened that to animals in general. So broadening the websites have really helped me expand my websites out of that tight niche some of them were in, but not going too broad. Don't go the mega website route. It takes so long to rank. So there you go, that's 9 things that didn't really work for me in blogging in 2021 and 5 things that actually did. There are probably a lot more of each that I could have listed, but I really think those are the 9 things that really I either wish I hadn't have done or didn't work for me. Now, it's not to say that these won't work for you. So if I've said social media doesn't work, it might not work for me, it may work for you. Your niche might be different, your approach to it might be different. You may be really passionate about social media. I'm not, and that's why it didn't work for me. So don't take all these that I've mentioned in here as gospel. They are my own experience, and it's my findings across my websites and my business in 2021. Everything could change in 2021, and I may be making a totally different video at the end of next year. But for this year, hopefully you can learn something from my mistakes and some of my successes. It has been a very successful year. It's the first year I've ever broke over 6 figures, and it seems to just be growing month on month. Q4 is looking fantastic, and I say it every year, I can't wait for Q4 next year. So thanks for joining me in this video. If you like this content and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so, and comment below what has worked and what has not worked for you across your website in 2021. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.